Welcome back, storytellers, to the Garlic Marketing Show. I've got a fun guest today talking about some exciting stuff with video. Love their product, love their service. We're going to have a lot of fun talking today to Darin. But before we get started, remember this podcast, the Garlic Marketing Show, is brought to you by storycruise.com. You know, one of the most powerful videos that you can find is your customer stories, whether you're SaaS like Darin or you're agency like me, your customer case stories, not testimonials, are the most powerful videos. Go to storycruise.com/case story to learn how to collect, craft, and deliver those stories. Darin, thank you so much from BombBomb for being on the show.
Me. This is awesome, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah, Darin and I were talking before the show about all the places we go, and Darin's coming from Colorado, but spends a lot of time in Florida here, where it's chilly right now. But
what is that? A balmy 55? Is that what we're talking about? Or?
Exactly.
I think 50. It might be 28 here, so I might have you.
But I feel so bad. Like we're sitting on the lake, and I'm like, what am I doing to my son? It's 65 degrees. And he's like, Daddy, it's too cold. He's like cuddling with me. I'm like, how was your 65?
We'd be in shorts. I'd be in shorts.
I used to play in the snow in shorts. We've had Ethan on from BombBomb before. Let's do a quick overview of what BombBomb is, and because and how many customers you have. Because I want to show how much video that you're seeing.
We're seeing a lot of video. Yeah, that's a good question. So BombBomb founded actually in 2006 with my co-founder Connor. We thought it'd be better if we could send ourselves over video, but it was super early. There wasn't a phone, or there wasn't a camera and a phone at that point. YouTube was privately held. We were very early. I still think we are early, actually, but that was the genesis. We wanted to be in front of more people more often in a personal way. And you've had Ethan on the show. I told you at the top, he's definitely smarter than me, and that was definitely going to be a better interview. But he's a great part of our team, our chief evangelist. But BombBomb is a video messaging company, but we focus on the human-centered part of the communication. I am a big believer that people need to be building better communication or better relationships with each other in this day and age where we get so reliant on artificial intelligence and, frankly, I call it digital pollution, things that just are inbounding at us all the time. I want people to build communication this way, connectedness. I believe humans have intrinsic value, that there's something special about when a human being's talking to another one. I move my hands. I use, there's a lot more in nonverbal than there is in verbal. Mm-hmm. I just want us to get back to that. And that's what BombBomb is all about. So creating that experience for the user and the recipient. We spend a lot of time thinking about what your recipient experiences when you send that video, and how do we get that engagement? How do we get that reciprocal experience, right? How do we get that to respond back in a lot of different ways? So at the end of the day, we send a lot of video, send a lot of personal one-to-one videos. I think the team at BombBomb now has sent well over 680,000 personal one-to-one video messages.
What?
I know, that's a crazy stat. And we're about 150 people at the company now. We've got, I think, just over 70,000 users in maybe 47 countries. I've sent over 10,000 personal videos, but I have a sales rep who sent personally over 20,000 personal videos, right?
Wow.
We're believers. We eat our own dog food. I don't think anybody's going to ever be able to catch us on that, and that's the idea. We want to lead by example. We want to share those experiences of what that means and why I'm never going back, right? I challenged our team maybe 5-6 years ago to quit sending text emails unless it was like a sentence. But if it would be better sent in person, send a video. Like, just abandon. It was a great experiment. We ran it for a month, and we just learned so much. We never went back.
So what did you learn in that experiment?
Gosh, that people don't respond to text emails with, wow, I've never received anything like that before. Or when you send a Slack message, but you do a video and you say, hey, I just want to tell you, thank you so much. I see the effort you're putting in. It's not being, overlooked. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of the team. That's a big deal. Whether that comes from me as the owner of the business or from a peer or from your manager, whatever it is, these videos replacing a human being. It just can't be done. Okay. Now, sometimes that's needed. We can say scale or whatever, but if it's important, I really think it should be said over a video, and ideally face to face. I mean, even this medium, and we're using Zoom, right, is great. But sometimes you just can't be line up the time, right? So send an asynchronous video, giving that piece of gratitude. I'm welcoming new employees to BombBomb with BombBomb, right? Because I can't be there in person because of this worldwide pandemic and everything we find ourselves in. So I'm sending personal videos saying, hey, welcome to BombBomb. I'm glad you're here. We need you. We need you to contribute. Can't wait to meet you at some point. But it makes a big difference in the response that you get when that message is different than if I was to send it over text in a white, black text on a white screen.
Love it. And it's true. And like what your shirt says, you're rehumanizing it. How do you think we got to the point? Because I think unraveling how we got to this point is going to help us get back to that point. How do you think we got to the dehumanized point?
Gosh, thank you for asking that question. I think a lot about this. And, when you think about just going to email or text or in messaging, when did that start? I'm old enough to know the time when it was not around. We have people now growing up in a period where it always has been, but it's not that old. Okay. And I really think at the end of the day, we do business through relationships. And what we're trying to do is use this technology to scale it, right? You read it in all the books, you hear people talking about it, but what are we scaling? And are we going too far, right? To maybe the dark side of what that is. The example I give is, let's say that, your addressable market is 1,000, small. Let's just say it's 1,000. And you send out a blast email campaign and you get your response rate at 10%. We're all jumping up and down. We're like, oh my gosh, 10% response rate. Well, God, dude, what about the 90% that didn't respond? Are you burning your brand to them? Maybe, are you?
Yeah.
You're just blasting away with no relationship. How can we be better? I just think that we got there. Then it's like an arms race because now everybody's doing that. Okay. So when I get done with our time together and I go back to my LinkedIn or my email inbox or anything that people can communicate to me with, it will be inundated with unsolicited messages from people who want a piece of my attention. And that's just like this escalated war that just keeps going.
Yeah. And you're right. I think that's a big point, is the battle for attention too, right?
Yes. So it's noisier. You have so many more ways. It's my phone now. They got my text. They're calling me. Do you ever answer a phone call if it is not in the phone?
No,
I don't. If it doesn't say Angela Dawson, that's my wife, or the people I know, it goes to voicemail and I listen to them like, oh, okay. But more often than not now, they don't leave a message because it's just somebody trying to do something, right?
Yep. And, we're all becoming cynical with all the messaging. And towards the end, we're going to talk about a big video and really important video that Darin's been sending out. And it's really simple. But before we do that, I want to talk about that idea of scale and how it affects video, because I think that the desire to scale hurts people's video quality, right? Mm-hmm. It hurts the messaging. Do you see that?
100%, man. Like if you send one video to 1,000 people and say the same thing, it does not have the impact if I say your name as a human being. Ian, what's up? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. How's the family in Florida? Gosh, I saw it was 65. I know that's cold to you, but it's whatever, man. Like, it's a personal video versus, hey, everybody, how's it going? I mean, it's better with video, but I think we have this idea. It's easier to abuse that message, and it's frankly easier to be ignored. Yeah. I know it's hard to customize things to people. I know it takes more time, but the question you have to ask yourself, is the outcome worth the investment? Look, if you had 30 people that you wanted to reach, if you reach those 30 people, your business would grow. What would you do to reach those 30 people? Would you send them a solid bar of gold? Would it be worth it to you? I mean, what's the cost to acquire the customer? Are we just minimizing the relationship and treating humans like disposable items, or are we investing? Are we saying it's worth it? It's a 30-second to a minute video to build a personal relationship. I just don't think it's too much to ask.
No, not at all. And that's an interesting
I'm
point.
passionate. I'm wearing a Rehumanized shirt, right? So I get that I might be over the top on it too.
No, I don't think you are. I think this is a big mental barrier for a lot of people when they come to video. And I think it's what makes them not want to do video, because they're worried about talking to everyone and having the scale. But you made a great point. You know, most of the businesses listening to this, if they got 30 more of their ideal clients this coming year, they would be through the roof. You know, if you have a $10,000, $50,000 average client value, maybe you have to make 300 of these videos to get 30 of those clients. Is that worth it to you? I think that's, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
I think people, I think a lot of, venture capitalists, they talk about what's the TAM, and they want the TAM, the total addressable market, to be very, very, very big. But at the end of the day, it can be very big, but our focus, Peter Drucker, the key to all economic success is focus. And we don't focus enough. We don't say, what is our ideal customer profile? We can't serve everybody, but who do we serve best? Who's going to be best with our product? And so focus on that, build relationships with those people, right?
Yeah.
And build a business on the best profile client. And I think then our cost to acquire them is less, but it could be more per client, but your outcome, your lifetime value when you actually get that customer is far greater.
I agree. And, I just was I'm listening to Walter Isaacson's Steve Jobs book. It's amazing. But when they first started, Apple, and he talks about everyone that was successful, how obsessed he was with the customer. And he wasn't going out to build a giant business. And he said, that's the wrong way to go out and build a giant business. You obsess about the customer, and then the rest of that comes.
Good, man. They focus on education. The Apple IIe, brilliant. You got a whole generation of people using Macs. No one saw that coming, right? I mean, but they focused in on that, and they delivered a product for this profile, and then they expanded from there. I think people are trying to be too many things to all people, and are casting too much of a wider net in our marketing, and we need to get better focus. We've been guilty of this. It's not, it's just something where I want to get back to the humans again.
Yep.
I want to be human-centered in my communication.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that, but there's so many different types of videos, because we're going to talk about a few of them. And I want to talk about that one towards the end. What types of videos should people be using these personalized videos for? Should they use it for all types? What are the top 5 or 10 types of videos that everyone should be making?
Gosh, that's a great question too. It kind of depends what role you're in, but to me, video lends itself to a better customer experience, right? So I want to talk about the arc of the customer experience, I think. And I'm a big fan. There's this guy named Jocko Vaderkoos. He's Winning by Design is the name of his company. It's fantastic. And he uses a bow tie funnel to exemplify this. And so on the left side of the funnel is where the marketing happens. All the way to the right side of the funnel is where somebody leaves your business, but you also have this opportunity for expansion, right? And so basically you have everything from marketing to sales, and then onboarding or customer success, and then also expansion. And so I think about where to use video in that funnel, in that cycle, in creating a customer experience that's better. So here's an example. So you might have very customized marketing videos that are more for everyone, but in a specific vertical. Speak to them, because every vertical has their pain, right? You gotta solve pain. If you're not solving pain, you're not going to win very many customers. So maybe a video that speaks to the pain of a specific vertical. We work in lots of different verticals: financial, real estate, insurance, SaaS, right? So we have videos that speak to that. We try to market to them, and then we fill that side of the funnel. When we get into the sales experience and the education phase, we want our salespeople doing the same thing with videos, reaching out personally, specifically to those people in that vertical about the problem that we solve and why they might want to talk to us about that. And then it's when you have a discovery call, we have a meeting, we have a video that goes out before the call saying, hey, I'm excited to meet with you. Just want to confirm our appointment today at 10 o'clock. After the discovery call happens, we send a video thanking them for their time. It's these little pieces that create an experience, and it's different, I think, than our competitors, also than any other experience they might be having out there with a company. And then in customer success and so on and so on.
Yeah. And you talk about customer service, and it's interesting because we do Giants of Video, which is a huge online video event seminar. We had about 40 people on, but we got a lot of people were talking about that hyper personalized customer service. And we had Joey Coleman on, who,
great guy.
Yeah,
Yep,
who's awesome. And I think he's out in your neck of the woods too.
Yeah.
We talked about that. And I always want to reiterate this. A 5% increase in customer satisfaction can lead to a 25 to 100% increase in profits, folks.
Dude, we do not focus enough on the lifetime value of the customer we've already got.
Yep.
It is forgotten. In every business, I've seen this. Again, we've been guilty of this in the past, but once you cross into the other side of the bow tie funnel, the right side of the funnel, we're onboarding people. And now you can send videos that maybe are more general and focused. They don't have to be personalized. But I was telling you, I send a video. Every time someone becomes a new customer, I send them a video and say, thank you for your business. I sincerely appreciate it. Just want to put a face with a name. I'm the owner. If there's anything I can ever do for you, please let me know. It's very simple, but it's customized to them. After that, they might get a video that's not customized. It's one that we send all new customers. It's part of their onboarding program, right? But again, the experience, if I can keep that customer longer, back to your point, I don't need, we're always spending so much on the acquiring. We need to spend more on the keeping.
Yep. Well, and not just the keeping, it's the feeling. And when someone feels that way about your business, like my Angela always said, it's people will forget what you did for them. They'll remember how you made them feel.
That's right.
And that it's so important, folks. So important. I just can't get this across to you thinking about that. And you say you don't have time, and that's always a lie to me. You don't prioritize it because someone told you to prioritize something else. So 680,000 videos, right, that your company sent. How long on average is, are your team members just making BombBomb videos all day? Is that all they're doing? How long do they spend in a day?
It becomes just who you are. It just becomes an integral part of your day. It's just like sending an email, but you're sending a video. And we do it internally. It's just a part of the DNA of the team. And so, I send probably now more videos through Slack than anywhere because I'm direct messaging team members. I'm communicating that way. We do screen sharing too. So I'll use screen sharing to communicate complex things that we're doing. But most of my communication is internal unless I'm touching a customer. But yeah, most of the time, it's about a minute. I always say, everyone asks that question, how long should the video be? And the answer is as long as it needs to be.
Exactly.
Right? But there's just like, now you've been doing this a long time. You probably know this, that when you start doing video, you should just start and you shouldn't worry about it. You should just send it. Seriously, don't rewatch it, send it. Get over that hump. Once you're over that hump, I want to work with you in like thinking about your video before you build it. So I do a Friday update video for my entire team, right? So every Friday, I update them on the business. Look, I can't be at the stand-up anymore on Friday afternoon at lunch talking to the entire company. So I have to do that differently. I do that through a video. And when I do that, I build out my points. I kind of tee it up like, okay, guys, I got 3 things for you to understand in this video. And this one's going to be a little longer, but I need you to watch till the end, right? So that sometimes can be a 10-minute video if I'm talking about the virtual Christmas party, the nonprofit thing we're doing, the bingo event that's coming up, and then the financials and everything else we're doing. So I got to be a little bit smarter about how I build that video. And I think we can do that, right? You can do that. You have what it takes to do that. If you're listening to this, you're thinking, I can't do it. You can. It's not that hard. It's just like any other talk you're going to give. You're just going to think about it a little bit more, build your points out, and then hit the points. And maybe you got to do that one a couple of times to get it going.
Yeah, but guess what's going to happen? Those types of, I think what I like about those videos is they're not those videos that are going to exist forever. So they're great videos to practice on.
And people love getting it. Like, yeah, they like it more than, look, if you had to put that into a text email, like how else are we going to communicate that? Like dude, no one's going to, and how do you know they read it? At least I know how much they watched and I can see how many people watched it, right? And who it was. Yeah. So I know that my message is getting to the team. It's also a way to retain talent. Like, I don't know about you, but I see this happening more. Like, it's harder to keep culture going on. So in the culture, one of the reasons you have a culture and you have something going like that at your company is to retain your talent. It's easier for people to get poached when they're just sitting in their basement for 9 months and not seeing the people they love working with. And so you gotta keep it in front of them, let them know that you care, let them know that you're important, that they're important to you.
I think that's fantastic. And it's so true. It's so easy to do. And also there's no misinterpretation of, well, you say a word and the inflections, you have inflection in it, where if email, it can be easily misinterpreted. If someone's having a bad day, the email,
they're going to project that bad day into the text. Yeah.
I have that all the time.
Social media is where this happens constantly. Yeah. Like, it's just this, you would never say this, the things that are said on social media, you would never say that to someone's face. Ever.
No, never.
Right.
Never.
Where I'm from, you get drug in the street and they, do bad things to you if you did it. But I mean, it's just insane. I just don't think we have empathy there, right? Like, when people see people, there's an empathy, there's a human connection that's different.
To that point, I love all of our guests, and Paul Zach, I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he's done a lot of study on video, and he's wrote books on neuroeconomics, and that increase in empathy increases how much someone will buy from you and how fast someone will buy from you. It's scientifically proven that increase in empathy will make that happen. And it doesn't have to be like this big, I love Darin. It's just like, hey, Darin's a human being.
No, look, do you know Darin better than you know the person that sent you the text email on a black and white screen, or the LinkedIn inbound message in the same way? Like, yeah. Look, we met today, but we feel like we know each other better, right?
100%.
There's a lot going on there. I mean, we're probably cut from some of the same cloth, whatnot, but it's about connecting with each other face to face. It makes it different. If this was over the phone, this would be completely different.
Completely different. From an execution standpoint, you were talking about a simple but more powerful video that you're sending out, and it's gratitude videos. Tell me about what you're doing there and how you're doing those.
Yep. And it's easy. And we don't do it enough. We don't do this enough without video, which is telling people we care about them, or telling people that we appreciate them, telling people that we're glad that they're on the team or a part of our lives, whatever it might be. This is applicable both in your business, I think, and then also in your community at large, right? In your family. So it's a gratitude video, and it's super simple. It's a way to say thank you for anything, right? So after I do this podcast, I will send a thank you video for having me. I appreciate your time. Thanks for inviting me. It means a lot that you chose me. And people like, it makes you feel good. It makes me feel good sending it, right? Another one would be, we're doing President's Club and stuff like that year end. And so I send a video and I say, hey, I got really good news. You made President's Club this year, but then I tell them why. 130% of quota, amazing. But you're always a team member. You're always doing, give them that gratitude on a video. You will make their day. I welcome people to BombBomb. I mentioned that. I ask my executive team, who on your teams do I need to be sending a thank you video to, right? Who can I send one to? Again, retention. I need them to see my face and know that I know who they are and that I'm appreciating them. I also just got this one really I would love, right? So last night, my CMO, Steve Passanelli, great guy, great family. He's got twins as well. I have twins, by the way, and he has twins, and we both have 3 kids. But he sent me, whole family gathered around the Christmas tree, a video wishing my family a Merry Christmas. He mentioned all my kids by name. Guys, I got to tell you, I like that a lot better than the card.
Yeah.
And when I show that video to my family tonight, will they have a better connection with the family who lives in Philadelphia? The answer is absolutely yeah. Like there's again, I mean, we keep coming back to this, but these aren't emotions that we feel unless it's a human talking to a human or speaking and things like that. So there's a connection, there's a chemistry, there's a neuroscience. We're built for this. We've only had text communication for like 40 years, I don't know, 50 years. We've been doing this face to face since the dawn of time.
Yep, we're built for it.
And cave carving, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, reading people's faces. I mean, that's something I always tell people. I'm like, we forget there was a time without language. I mean, thousands of years without language where we had to understand people's faces. Maybe there were grunts and stuff.
Yeah. Some of it's, I know it's intimidating or it's not, right? I mean, again, it's built in who we are. It's our DNA. And I think what you said about empathy, when empathy comes in the picture, it's centered right. Gratitude and empathy go hand in hand. I think how I feel about a person makes me want to choose them in their business. And so I also, I think I mentioned this, I send a thank you video to everyone who comes on with us, who chooses us, who becomes a customer of ours. You know, for us, we have single users and we have larger users. And usually that's what I pick, the larger users. So if our mid-market or enterprise team are selling those, I send them a gratitude video like, thank you so much. Thanks for choosing BombBomb. Appreciate you. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. These are easy. I mean, they're 15-second videos.
Yeah.
And I have a, you know, when that's in Salesforce, when that deal happens, it notifies me. And so I get the information from Salesforce and I just send the video.
That's actually a perfect segue into my next question. What's your video workflow? Because I'm a video guy. I like to know workflows.
I spend time. So I mark off time in my day for gratitude videos. Again, so, you know, a couple of things, I think. One, that Friday video, though, that Friday video update. Look, if your team's remote right now, and you're distributing,
which everyone is.
Everyone is, right? I mean, there's some outliers, but for the most part, that Friday video, that's a big deal. They look forward to it. They love it. They love the update. They feel connected, even though we're not connected. But I make time in my calendar every day for gratitude, and that might be 15 minutes to send gratitude videos. So I'm always actively, that changes my mindset. I'm always actively looking for those. And then I set up that workflow in our process to say, every time a deal this size comes in, I get notified and I have a task in Salesforce that I complete, right? So I just knock it off. So I'm pretty regimented in my day, like very 15-minute increments type of thing. So I place them in there. And so I'm very intentional about that because then that creates this need to fulfill that every day.
Love it. And I mean, you're the CEO of a 150 person company and you're making the time for that. It's
honest to God, I think my number one job is to make sure those people feel appreciated and valued. And that includes my customers, my team, and you know, my executive team, the greater team. That as a leader, that's the type of leader I want to be. I'd rather have that on my tombstone than he sold this business for X amount of bill, whatever. I don't care. I want people to be remembered for who I was and how I led versus how much money I made. I think money is a byproduct of good leadership.
Love it. Yes, I agree completely. Well, I mean, this is amazing. Amazing. I appreciate you being on. So what's the best way to get in touch with you on LinkedIn, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm easy to find. My mom gave me a gift when I was born. She spelled my name special. With Darin with an I, Darin, Dawson. And my email is darin@bombbomb.com. Happy to reach out or happy to connect with people too. If you email me, you'll get a video back, I
promise. Awesome. Yeah. And make sure to check out BombBomb. You know, one things I really like on BombBomb.com are the use cases. We'll put a link in the show notes. There's a tons of ways to be using this and be using video. This has been fantastic. But Darin, thank you so much for being on the Garlic Marketing Show.
It was awesome, man. It was a real joy. I really enjoyed it. Have a great holiday and appreciate you.
Yeah, and you too. And thank you all for listening to the Garlic Marketing Show. This has been Ian Garlic. And make sure to go make some videos. Go make some videos right now. Go get BombBomb. Send out some videos to your customers. Thanks a lot. And I'll be talking to you soon.